Diablo? Come on, man. We just got done. We tried to walk out the door, pimp out the door, gonna be that mother on the wall. But there's a mass slave black Puerto Rican man or whatever. Well, he's not Puerto Rican man, but mass. I'm assuming. I always thought they was black, the most, but just a mass butler. I'll say that. Former slave. Of any descent is at the door. Told me Lord Mortimer wanted to talk to me. Came over here to talk to me. He noticed my hand cut off, and he said, "Oh no, your mother has got you into this. You are the here." That's why I told Kiana. Once he see my hand cut off, he's gonna know everything that's going on. His mother's hand is cut off, and he knows that I'm following the same path as her. But why would she be the devil if she's uncovering all this stuff? She could have some demons in her, maybe, for sure, but it was stuff she's seen. But this guy's the devil because he literally is just trying to continue as business as usual. Or politics as usual. Like, and he just told me he's been here for 600 years. He's kind of feeding into the devil stuff that
Did you know ancient Greece?
In many ways, yes. One day Pericles, the next Parmenides.
So he could be lying.
Just the memory of the time I spent working on acoustics with
we get a chance to
Pythagoras.
kill him.
Well, it moves me
What
quite
would you
deeply, to tell the truth.
Pericles. He's the one who brought Athens to its golden age, isn't he?
In a way, yes.
He established democracy and then died during an epidemic. It wasn't so long after his 2 sons passed away. Isn't that right?
Excuse me, Louis. I would rather not relive any more of that, if you don't mind.
What? How you not gonna want to relive something? What
I've
you
noticed
talking
that you have a passion for the Crusades.
Among other things, yes. Mainly the third. It was during the siege of St. Joan of Arc that I took possession of Lord Mortimer.
And you've never changed skins or bodies since?
I have used other envelopes, but only to carry out very short tasks. Apart from that, indeed, I have been able to retain the identity of William Alexander Mortimer throughout the centuries.
That's why there was no body in that casket. That makes kind of sense. Because they were saying there's nobody in there. And there's no legacy of the Mortimer family, or there's no bloodline or whatever of them. Because it's the same exact person from the start of it. Which is still a little weird because he's willing to answer questions. And then look, video game wise, why am I getting questioned by him in this form? Why is it not a confrontation right now? Because he's trying to convince me. So you already know what I'm gonna do. Play the slight manipulation game without using manipulation tactics.
You seem to be fascinated by Christ. You weren't him, were you?
Oh, no, not at all.
What?
He was my father.
that Jesus?
Strange as it seems.
I beg your pardon? Am I dreaming?
What?
Please tell me I'm dreaming.
We should have the chance to talk about all that again later, but yes, he was my father. All the mythology surrounding Jesus of Nazareth really stems from my father's prideful need to show himself among men.
Wow. Alright. Oh, I'm tired of this. He ain't no daggone Jesus. He got so much power. He calling himself the devil. I mean, the little girl did have some real demonic stuff, but they're doing demonic stuff. They have a whole room that they dedicate to controlling the dictates, the decisions, and the outlooks of the world. Like, they have a whole room of the whole world. It's like the military before the military. And then all these people, the leaders of each of these countries at the time, come together to have a meeting. It can't be nothing good with that. It can't be nothing good with that. They all want to be able to keep being rich and continue to exploit land. That's all you want to do. So it's funny that they're putting this spin on it, saying that they're the devil. This game is, I like this game. I was reading places that they said this game was ending weird, but I don't know. The middle was a little different, where I got lost at. But I like the story of this game a lot. This is probably gonna be one of my top favorite games ever, based just purely on story. They get that, and I ain't even beat the game yet. How many of you are there? I don't even want to ask that. Do they manipulate thoughts?
And you truly have the power to manipulate the thoughts of men.
That's right. Every
That's what
demon
happens to
has the
animals.
capacity to infiltrate the minds of men and to read and steer their thoughts.
Can you tell me more about your capacities, your supernatural powers?
Supernatural? From my point of view, they are perfectly natural. Well, Louis, just because the monkey does not fly doesn't mean that we should consider the bird a supernatural creature. We are all part of a grand design. We are simply made like this. By developing our art, we are able to read thoughts as well as write in the minds of men. It is possible for us to make them bow to our desire, but it doesn't work without leaving some scars.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so he might be the devil because like how we found that casket, we found that old casket, that tomb where nobody was in it, and we didn't get to see none of the other places. And the other ones, the other tombs we did see were covered up pretty well, like nobody would get into them. That's because he wanted to, he's been controlled this whole time by an entity. So I do believe that in that aspect, but with him in this control of people's mind stuff, he just gave a terrible example. Talking about just because monkeys can't fly, will we say that they're, what did he say? He said something about because monkeys can't fly, that don't mean that there's something against birds. No, that was a terrible example. They're animals. So if this game is talking about God and Jesus, animals was made all to be different for the land and the world. And from what I live right now, what you live right now in this life we live, what do animals do? They help out the world. Yeah, they may kill each other, but they have to eat too. So we're not put in places where vicious animals are, because we know not to be there. They will kill us too. We can't be mad at an animal that killed a human if you're in the wrong place that you're not supposed to be and you don't know how to survive against it. But even if you do know how to survive against it, that means you just killed that animal because you're in their territory. Those dangerous animals don't come to where we are these days in this future. That's an interesting point, because maybe back then, where the land was just so ravaged and there wasn't no civilization, and people didn't build buildings and build whatever they, different architecture or different places and, scope the land, then I guess animals would slowly stop coming in. Animals would naturally basically stay where their habitat is automatically. It don't always have to be woods and jungles. Ocean animals are going to stay in the ocean. The ones that could crawl on the land, they crawl on the land, but they know that they still got to be in the ocean, like a turtle, or a seal. So when it comes to land animals in particular, because we know ocean animals stay in the ocean, and we know that there's some animals that come on the land, they go back in the ocean. When it comes to land animals, if civilization is being built up in the beginning of time, whatever that happens, animals have been the same from the beginning. Really, animals evolve too, though, just like us. We evolve because of time change. Environment makes us evolve, so I do believe in that too. So animals are not the same as they used to be back then. That kind of goes into the theory of dinosaurs, but I'm not going into dinosaurs right now. We're not talking about that. But I do believe in animal evolution for sure, because we as people were evolutionized 100%. Look how we live right now. You see buildings, streets, lights, power. You see all this stuff that we see right now. That was not how it was hundreds of years ago. You just have to know that. And it just obviously makes the most sense to know that. Because we know power wasn't even around over hundreds of years ago. Power is new, 300 some years ago or something like that. So, what else I'm about to say? Civilization. Civilization means people come together and they start to build up in a certain area. What are they building? They're building buildings. They're building homes. They're building, pyramids, all these different things that we have, huts, the Colosseums, we have all these different things that they're building. But that's what people do to live there, to have their lives better, to have their lives be more enjoyable, to have their lives function better. They're building these places to protect them against the weather. they're building places to protect them, to stay warm, to stay dry. So that's common sense. Now back to him comparing monkeys to fish or monkeys to birds. What type of example is that? He's just talking. First of all, like I said, when we first met him, we know that he's just talking because he wants to convince him. He wants to convince my character to be on his side without like forcing him. He realizes that his mother is a very important piece. He respects his mother, but his mother wanted her own journey to seek the truth. She didn't tell nobody. They just automatically figured it out because she's not there. And they know that all the people that come there are invited. So that way we could continue to control the world. She doesn't want to do that bullshit no more. Pardon me cursing. She didn't want to do that no more. But she also, before she didn't want to do that, she was going to do that. Because she was a part of it. But then she went through some stuff. She seen some stuff. She found out some information that changed her life. And she said she doesn't want to be a part of it no more. No matter how deep she is. No matter how much trust they have in her. She just said, nope, I don't want to do this no more. And she know that that's going to put her life on the line. But before she did that, she had her son. She raised him to be able to take her spot in the same organization. But before all that happened, he's getting older, and when he finally, he hears about his mother being missing, and he's a detective, so now he's already like wanting to know what's going on. So he's not coming here for business like they are. He's coming here to find out what's going on with his mother and what exactly is going on here. And this is what the type of people we need in the world, people that's going to change stuff. Because this is why I say, when you have a problem with something, what JPEG Mafia say? You having issues with you having issues with the barber, you having issues with the clippers. I'm having issues with my barber. Because that's how it go. I learned that a long time ago, which I'm pretty sure you did too. When you have an issue or a problem, or you not even just a problem, when you need to get something done, you go and do it. And how you gonna get it done? You gotta go to this building. You gotta go to this meeting. You gotta go make these phone calls. Oh, who you calling? An animal? Oh no, who you going in that building to go see? Demon? Who you got? What place are you gonna go see? The place for? You gonna go talk to the sky? No, you're talking to another human, because we are all running in charge of everything that we all need to do for each other. Yeah, you may need to go get trained for certain stuff. Yeah, you may need to go get qualified for certain stuff, but at the end of it, you still gotta come across a person that has to approve or deny you getting something done or not. And if that person says no, that means you probably wasn't qualified, or you didn't train enough, or you don't know the information enough. So that means you still have a person that you gotta get past. It's not a computer, it's a person. So back to this. People can be controlled by whatever their job is, even though we all are not our jobs. We are all not our nice stuff, our poor stuff. That is not us. Nobody on this earth. You could be super poor, you could be really poor, have no money, and live in extreme poverty, but you could still be the greatest person. Just because you may not have no food, you don't even know where your next plate coming from, that don't mean you're not a good person. It's just you don't have the money that the rest of us have to be able to survive a little bit better. But that don't mean you're not a good person. It doesn't at all. You could be extremely rich and have all the money in the world. You could be the richest person in the world, whoever that may be, it used to be a man in Africa, but I don't know who the richest person in the world is now. But you could be the richest person in the world. What does that mean? Does that make you the nicest person? Absolutely not. Does that make you the meanest person? Absolutely not either. But at the same time, it's not about being nice or mean. It's about what type of person does that make you. And what my point is that that's just, a person, like, are you conscious and understanding that, you still gotta treat people with respect no matter how much money in your pocket. You still should want to treat people with respect no matter how much money in your pocket. No matter who it is. The janitor pushing the mop, it really don't matter who it is, or the principal of a school, a young student that you never met before that's learning. It does not matter who it is. The problem is that people feel like they don't want to keep doing that every time they see somebody. It's almost like doctors. Doctors don't tell you the truth about what's going on because they don't want to feel bad. They don't show you that they feel bad for what you're going through. Yeah, I believe that they want people to be healthy. They want to help people. I believe that, but they don't show you that. Oh man, I feel so bad for you. I hope you know, let's make sure you get better. I feel so bad for you. You know, they don't do that, because if they did that for everybody, that make that person go crazy. That's almost like how I feel. I'm not comparing myself to a doctor, but that's how I feel about stuff, because it's like you care about everybody and everything. You care about, you know, the people you come across. You know why? Because the next person you meet has nothing to do with the last person you met that might have pissed you off at all. The next person has nothing to do with that. So how should you treat that next person? With some respect, some decency, you know? Like, you got some common sense, like, you know, don't be rude to them. They got nothing to do with whatever happens, because it's very important in life when you come across somebody. You come across somebody and then you realize, like, why is this person talking to me like this? Why is he being rude to me? For what? Not making any sense. I didn't do anything to him. Now that person doesn't feel like they don't want to help you out or do the best for you, because it's just the way you're talking, the way you're approaching them. It's called first perception, and that's so true. No matter how sad it is, but it's so true. And I live like that too. If I'm being talked to rudely or being approached rudely, or the first words out of somebody's mouth, or not getting no eye contact, yeah, it makes me not want to trust you either. It makes you not want to have no dealings with you either. It shouldn't be like that, but it's safe to do that, because you should want people to come and give you some decency, show you some respect when you're talking to them. You should want that. And if you're a person that doesn't want that, come on, man, you pushing the problem. It's like you can't ignore certain stuff like that. But I'm not saying go ahead and smack somebody or treat them bad because they do that. But at the same time, just don't give them the same respect and courtesy that they gave you if they're not doing that for you. It's just that simple. And then we get back into demons that this game is trying to say, which I really love the story side of this game. But getting back into demons, like, and this guy right here, Mortimer, that knows that we are doing what we're doing around this building, around his estate, and the son right there. I've been on a path where I've been choosing to kind of just be blatant and not really hide what I've been going through, unless it's been certain people. But I keep popping up with scars on my face, like popping up, and I'm in somebody's room. I'm this and that. They never met nobody doing that. That goes back to what we were just talking about a few minutes ago. You got to come across a person at the end of the day. So they never met nobody, because everybody here, which reminds me of another person, because that French guy that said, if you send some more children over here, we'll have 20 more beds ready. I still don't understand that. I don't know if that's some slave talk, but that was a really interesting part from a few scenes ago too. Like, that had me thinking too, because we already knew he was a twisted person, but that's that other guy that whatever that other dude is. But this is crazy. Like, this story is really good. There's so much. It's about the truth about what we really do. You're sending people to a secret island and a secret organization, a secret society, like we always say, which is so great. But at the same time, what happens with that? There are all these different people that come into these places with their own agenda for their country, their land that they establish, knowing the resources we have for the world. That's crazy. So they come here and meet with him, this guy, which we said in the beginning, that never died.
Y'all playing games.
I wonder, because his outfit is kind of the same too. He never died. Like, so her mother, that's what we said in the beginning. His mother came there, and she doesn't want to do it no more. She woke up to the bullshit. Excuse me for cursing, for the monstrosity. Like, she don't want to be a part of this society no more. She came across some devilish stuff, just like that little girl, John Adams' daughter. John Adams is another president, a future president. He's the vice president of America. America is just starting to be America. They just took over America from the natives. Slavery is just starting, but remember, the rest of the world doesn't care about slavery because everybody has slaves. Everybody enslaves each other. So this is so dope. So it's kind of crazy to see them bring in devils, and then they're putting devils on these white bodies. Like, these are white people they're talking about. Which I didn't get into white people, but it's just they're talking about he's a white man. Like, so I'm on my video, making a video, and you were just talking over me like I've been talking the whole time. No, I'm talking about just explaining everything because I really love the story of this game. And the part where I'm at now, I'm about to end it. What I was saying because I basically did say everything. Because he just brought up some bull. Like, she tried to compare monkeys. Like, it was a real quick example, but he was just saying, like, just because I accused him of where those powers going, like, when they trying to manipulate people, because the devils manipulate people, he said. And he was saying, like, just because monkeys don't fly like a bird doesn't make them a evil thing or something like that, he said. And then that's when I started explaining to the people that, you know, that was a terrible connection and a terrible example, because we think about the beginning or wherever it may be the beginning and how we look at life right now. I had to tell the people, look how life is right now. Just sum it up for y'all again. Look at how life is right now. You buildings, lights, cars, all this stuff, roads. That's not nowhere near how it, you gotta be smart enough to know that that's not how it was thousands of years ago. So now you know that. Think about when animals first arrived here. Animals first arrived here, they are not the same type of animals they were thousands of years ago either. I believe in evolution. To what extent, we're not going to get into right now, because then, you know, that could go into the dinosaurs and evolution of that, but we're not getting into evolution of animals. We just trying to get you to understand nothing was the same. We as the people wasn't the same, and y'all know that from cavemen. You know, black men people as a caveman, but it goes into cave people and just the way they got to live based off the terrain and the region of the world. The weather, you know, the region of how the weather is. So what's that gonna make you do? You're a human, you're walking around, you don't have clothes, you have all your natural resources around you that you don't really know all about yet. You have all these animals, probably huge animals, you know, but remember, you're in their territory at that point, because this is all the land. So really it's your land too, because we are humans, you're part of this, you're a species too, but there are more dominant species. Like humans then become I don't believe humans became the most dominant species until, you know, we started having civilizations. And, you know, that's when we started going into that talk, when we started building up structures to protect us from the weather, protect us from animals, protect us from other people, unfortunately, when it comes to different lands and rules. So it gets pretty crazy that they bringing up devils and stuff in here, because even more so, that's what it saying. Like, I saw people over the months, over the years, because I've had this game for a few years now, and I haven't played it in a few months though. But how people just said at the ending wasn't that good. I will say, like, I don't know where I'm at. I don't know if I'm on chapter 5 yet or still at the end of 4. But I feel like I'm on 5, the beginning of 5. They didn't give me no big intro like how they usually do. So I don't think I'm on 5. I think we at the very end of 4. But they didn't talk about I forgot what I was about to say. Like, it's just like it wasn't. Oh, that's what I was saying. It's not. It wasn't that bad. The game. It was a part where I was stuck. So if anything, I just alluded to me not knowing how to search that well, and I probably just, you know, this is a game where I didn't have no music playing. I was just trying to really pay attention because there's so much information in it, and I knew once you miss it once, you ain't gonna get it back again, and that's what probably caused me to start it over in the beginning. One of the reasons I started over, but I don't think the story or none of that was bad. I just feel like it is going in a different direction. That's what you want stuff to do. But yeah, just to throw it out there for the video purposes, I like the way this is going. This right here though, with this guy, he know I'm about to go meet my mother. He know I got what I got in my pocket. He know I know a lot of stuff, but he's trying to switch it all off and bring up the fact that there are devils and demons, and that's what his mother had been trying to prove. So what is he? Let's finish this little demon talk that he was.
What do you do with this power?
We help them, of course.
Oh my gosh! See, now he talking about he helped the people. He about to say rubbish. I don't want to spend 4 points just to say rubbish.
And
man.
how is it you help men exactly?
Let's just
That's
say
crazy.
that without us, man would probably never have left his cave. Fire, the wheel, tools, writing. We are the spark that inspires man to search, to grow, to evolve.
Alright, so this again, this game is very biblical. So what he's talking about goes into the devil stuff again, biblical. When he talking about the spark, what happened with Adam and Eve? The snake gave that thought to Adam to do something, that Adam was told not to do, but Adam didn't know nothing about it at all. He was just told not to do it. Then the snake was coming to him and telling him, like, why would he tell you not to do that? Like, trying to make him think of outside of what he was told to do, going against his fleshly mind and his fleshly intentions. Cool. So if they're trying to flip it again and say that the devils are trying to enhance man and make them want to educate themselves, that's bullshit. Bullshit. I mean, if you feel like you want to do that to get to the next step of controlling all the people in the world because you're a fallen angel, what the fuck? That is pure manipulation of the devil. Like, but then again, like, come on, this is the devil, because like we said, John Adams' daughter went crazy in this house. She was a young girl, went crazy in this house. Big ass house. She had no kids in there with her, no friends, like obviously no toys. She's on a fucking island by herself with all these weird ass people that didn't care about her. Just let her just go and just be in her room all the time. Tell her go to her room all the time. Never answer no questions about her. Never gave her no attention as much as she wanted. Basically, never gave her no attention. They didn't. That girl looked terrible every time you saw that girl in this game. And she, you know, you had your moments with her as the main character to interact with her, and it was pleasant. My first story, it was pleasant. My second one wasn't. I neglected her in this storyline, unfortunately. But in the beginning of my first storyline, I didn't. I chose her over. But I realized she dies either way. That's why I was just telling Kiana, my wife, about maybe like a few hours ago. She dies either way. But I didn't neglect her though. Like how her father did, and how this man right here did, by just giving her the whole allure that it's an island. You're a grown man, like, or a grown devil, but you're a grown man that knows that an island is popping. Like, to have your own island, yeah, at any time in history of life is great to have your own island. And it's gotta be great to be able to have your own society where y'all literally control the world. And new countries, leaders are being developed, and you come and you call them out, some invitation to come here, and you introduce yourself, you tell them your plan, and you try to get them to understand what they could do with your land, and what resources your land have. It's crazy. This game was fire. I wish they made a part 2 to this. So look, I ain't even about to ask. Do I gotta ask him if he's the devil? I don't. I could pass. But it's like, you might as well ask all this stuff to hear the nonsense he's about to say. How many of you are out there?
Lucifer,
ask that
the fallen archangel, left heaven accompanied by 133,306,668
Why are their
angels.
lips not moving no more?
Is it true that there are that many of you?
No, I assure you, Louis. Forget your Bible class. It's ridiculous. We are not angels. We don't have wings. There is certainly nowhere near 1,000,000 of us. And for that matter, no sacred human text represents us correctly. There are several families, and the family to which I belong has 8 siblings, including Gregory and myself.
Sir Gregory is your brother?
Yes, what can I say? You can't choose your family, but it is very difficult to know exactly how many of us there are, because a large number of our kind remain hidden, or never reveal themselves even to us.
Because y'all are all devils, and why would a devil reveal himself to another devil? If you're going back, you assume he's the devil based off his actions, and if he's doing the same type of things you're doing, then why disturb him? Just let him do what he do. Devil. What else he say? He just said something else too, though. Oh. He was like, when he brought up directly Lucifer and brought up how it was 130,000 or something like that, I think he might have went to the millions. He said, no, Lord, it's not that many. That's interesting too. He told him to forget the biblical stuff. Lucifer was one devil. So, I guess he did kind of tell the truth right there, that there's not that many of them. But I don't know if you would want to tell him right now when you try to convince him that there's more devils out there. So good play on the devil man that says he's the devil, to say that he's not the devil, or there's not the millions of devils, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like what I said about 15 minutes ago. What if he just stabbed him right now? What would happen? Obviously, he's gonna probably get killed because there's so many of these little servant guys standing around you, so that would be very bad for my character. But you just kill him right now. Yeah, that'd be real bad. You shouldn't kill him right now because you clearly around a bunch of them. But what would happen? Like, what exactly is a demon?
How would you qualify your species scientifically?
Good question. What is your area of expertise?
Oh, come on. I can't answer these. What? Because my science is locked. I knew I should have upgraded science more. It's figures at some point in the game, they bring out the places, the stuff you need. In the beginning of the game, they make you think you need all the conviction, the manipulation. But you didn't really need manipulation. For if I just would have focused more on, like, I know it sounds crazy to be education. Really, that's not true. If I would have got more like education, I would have been just reading everything. I didn't technically read everything in this game. I read almost everything, but when it came to certain points, within points, I didn't read everything. Like, if that makes sense. Like, I read every picture. I did read everything, but when it comes to conversations, I didn't. No, I did read everything in conversations too. But there was like small times where I didn't go into everything because there'll be you'll have to use points to get into everything. So I realized, like, I don't know, like a few, maybe like 2 chapters ago, or maybe one episode ago, I should say, that I didn't need to spend all my. That's why I have so many points right now. At the beginning, I was spending all those little things. Now it's like I don't use them no more. I just go off of the free stuff that they give. You saw that? He just glitched in the background. I see that. But it's like, how? Damn, then he about to say he's not a scientist. You can get told anything when you say that.
My lord, to tell you the truth, I don't see myself as a scientist.
Well, consider us as a simple species still unknown to most of men. Thus we are born. We have the capacity to change bodies, that is all.
My bad, I don't want to keep saying this. I kind of he just tried to say, don't forget your biblical classes and all that. He said we are not angels, we don't have wings. What the Bible say? Angels are fallen people and they don't have their wings. And then he just said we change, we just come in the form of people. What did the Bible say? They come in the form of animals and people. So he sounds like he's going off of the Bible, but why is the devil straight up telling him this? I don't believe his reasoning earlier when I asked that question. Can I repeat stuff? Why tell me this? Oh, I can't. See, I can't hear that answer again. I forgot what he was saying, but it was such bullshit. Like, why tell me this? Like, you want me to be truthful, but you're going to tell me that you're the devil, and then not really tell me that you're telling me this because you don't want me to go and meet up with my mom and give my mom the dagger that stabbed Jesus. That's a whole other conversation too, right there. So it's like, why wouldn't you want me to give this to her if that wasn't the case? I don't know, man. This is the last question I have to ask.
You're the devil incarnate.
The devil? I'm not saying that all Judeo-Christian folklore hasn't served us, but the truth is, of course, something quite different. Please, don't look at us through the primitive prism of religions. I am not hiding any horns or goat's feet, Louis. I have no tail.
That folklore? That is folklore. That's exactly what that is. And I can say it's for free. So we might as well say it.
Why do you bring up folklore? You mean that you've taken advantage of people's beliefs?
No, not exactly. I mean that we in fact created them from scratch. It is amazing to see how mankind has such a strong need to believe in something superior to itself. It was very instructive for what was to come.
What you mean? Why wouldn't people want to know what was before? He's talking like the devil. The writing on here is getting better. Cause he's saying stuff like the devil, but he just sounds stupid. It's like, you just don't even like, you're not a human, so you don't realize that, yeah, we want to know what life was before. What? And we want to know what life could be after. We just don't, put much thought in the after part because it's very daunting. But you've been in this man's body for 600 years, so why would you expect us to evolve our brain and want to know where you came from or the possibilities of you? Come on now. This man right here ain't see what we saw as a human. We saw a little girl go crazy and do some worshiping rock star stuff in her room. Like, come on, man. That hit different when you see it as a human. I don't know about you. And then you got the president of America, which is George Washington, which is a funny role too, because he's actually playing both sides in a weird way. They try to make George Washington seem like a saint. They try to make George Washington seem like he low-key cool. I don't like that either. Like, how else did he become the president of the United States? Come on now. How else did he become the first president? They had to take that land. But remember, this is the world we live in, so, we just talking about that a little bit. Everybody kind of, for the most part, colonizes land. This is land. If you want that land, what you're gonna do? You're gonna physically take it by force, brute. You're gonna, brute your way through it. And this goes for Africans too. There's still wars going on in Africa right now. All in with Africa. What they say, the Congo. I was younger, Rwanda was having the issues. So I bring up Africa, I'm black, but just to let people know that it's still going on. Look at Ukraine and Russia right now. Ukraine is a part of Russia, or it's a land close by it. And that's what we were talking about. Like, I saw like a post somewhere a while ago, like a few weeks ago. We were talking about how Russia never colonized Africa. So why do black people not like Russians? And it was like, it ain't about them not colonizing Africa. They still colonize lands. Like, and look how they live today. They just live secluded. They live by their own rules, which is whatever. That's cool. But when you think of it like that, they colonize the lands around them. Like, just like Africa's doing right now. Europe, the people in Spain went all the way across the water to go to North America at the time, which it wasn't North America, to take over that land. When Africa did the same thing too. Africa went across the water and went to South America, and that's why there's still the most black people in the world in South America. But what about North America though? When they went over there, what was over there? There was Native Americans up there. What they do? They parlayed with them, faked it with them. Today, Thanksgiving Day. Come on now. Like, this is the day marked in the time that we as people have marked for ourselves for what they did. So, what's funny is because this game didn't get this deep for me until I got into his chambers with that first little guessing game. I forgot, it was some chambers he was at with the bird, where I had killed the bird at. Well, in my storyline, the bird is still alive, but my first storyline where the bird died, it was in that room. When you go behind the painting and you figure out that puzzle behind his painting, and then you get stuck in there because you don't know how to close it back and you hear the guard coming. There was posters on the wall talking about the Atlantic trade, the Atlantic triangle trade. How's it pronounced? The triangular Atlantic trade, the slave trade basically. But how their route was, and they didn't go into this part though. But Spain, they had aborted for them. They had abolished slavery in Spain. Like, they didn't want you to have slaves in Spain. So those leaders that was in Spain went to other lands to go get slaves regardless. They still went to go do that. They just knew that they wasn't going to do it there. And they still brought some slaves back to Spain, but nowhere near as many as the ones they kept or the ones that they had killed along the ocean to get back to America. Like, come on now. So it's like they're going to find their own land and go do it. So imagine that. Imagine leaving your land when they say you can't have slaves, even though civilization, people use people to get stuff done. There's a hierarchy in people, so we understand how slavery works. It shouldn't be, but we understand that. If you don't, whatever, you're not born into the riches of it, you're going to be a peasant. So if you're a peasant, you're going to have to do what you told by the government. That's where you turn a slave. So they stopped doing that. Those people went across the ocean, the huge ocean, to go find people, to go find land. And if you go find land, what are you going to do? You're going to just mingle and be cool with anybody that's been there? Supposedly the storybooks try to say they did, But then Thanksgiving came, that changed all over it. But who's to know? Who's to say that they really was cool with them when they first got here? Who's to say that? They try to say that, real quick, they try to say that, for one example, because remember, it's different settlers that came in on the east side of America, not the west side of the western side of it, because they didn't colonize over there. They started from the east and started slowly moving over. So when they arrived there, and mind you, the whole America is by Native Americans. Think of all the names of the cities and the highways. But anyway, you come in, boom. They hit New York, New Jersey, that whole area, Maine, all these spots, Virginia. They hit all these places. What happened next? They realize there's people here. I guess they make some type of, break that language barrier. How do you break that language barrier? By the barter system. What do you have that I could use? What do I have that you could use? Give me a lay of the land, understand it, blah, blah, blah. Natives probably was cool. They probably was trying. Maybe they wasn't, though. They don't talk much about how they probably was going against them or probably trying to, or killing them off. They don't talk about that. But they do talk about how they was willing to be peaceful with them. They always make it seem like other people are so willing to be peaceful with Europeans, but whatever. They don't never make it seem like they was being like aggressive or combative back. They don't never do that in the history books. But it's a strong possibility that definitely did happen with all these different tribes. Back to the certain settlers. They come in certain parts. They used to mark their location or who was there, their settlement or the certain pilgrims that were there on trees to let other settlers know, if you come here, this is who was here. Like, you remember we broke up, we split up when we first got here after Mayflower, but you can see my symbol, you can see it. So this is technically where we was at. You can see where we was at, and that's smart. I get it. You want to be able to have some type of way to communicate with your people. But they said that some people had terms and conditions with the natives of they were saying that the natives, that they bought the land based off of whatever the goods they was giving them, the gunpowder that they didn't need, the rice that they really didn't need, the grains that they probably didn't need either, or the fabrics they did need, or whatever things that the settlers give them that made them. They probably bought like gold and stuff, but natives didn't know what to do with that. They put it on, as like royalty items, but they didn't really, prioritize that. They probably understood the value of it, but they wanted more natural resources, I'm assuming. And then what they do? The natives come back on them in a lot of the stories. The natives come back to them and be like, okay, we need to re-up this deal. We ain't need this deal. Or this bargain that we got. And they look at them like, the settlers look at them like, wait, what? We need to do what? And it's like, we bought this land. The natives say, no, you rented it for 3 months, for 90 moons or whatever. And it's like, no, we did. We bought this land. And then so that causes issues right there. So that's make the issues of maybe the natives wanted that issue too. Maybe the settlers wanted that issue too. Maybe they lied. Maybe both sides lied. Whatever. So now that may cause some hostility. Why the fuck would we have a big dinner? Like, why would they invite them to a big ass dinner? The natives, what happened along that part where they convinced these different native groups, these different native tribes, to actually sit down with these people and have a dinner with them? What different areas that made that happen? Like what conversations was happening for that? Who knows? Like, and it's like you gotta speculate, but you gotta also use your logic and just kind of just go off of what is being said, and just do the best as possible and just keep looking it up. Really, don't even listen to me when it comes to guessing. Don't do that. Just keep looking it up. You'll see consistencies in it before they delete all of the information. Well, they'll try to anyway. I don't think they ever will, but you'll see consistencies in it. There had to be some type of agreements between them. And then when they did agree, for the ones that did agree, they decided to sit down with them. What was supposed to be the outcome of that? We will share this land together? What was supposed to be the outcome of that? And it's like the natives probably were just so like humble maybe, to where they just did want to sit down with these people that have guns that they didn't probably know the full extent of. Or they definitely did. Maybe they used them guns and stuff, but they probably just they just didn't really know the full extent. They sat down with these people that have guns, because they probably offered their guns. You know, the white people probably definitely offered their guns, and you know, to them, they probably just chose not to. They definitely taught some of them people for sure. You know, people break apart and they link up with people. I'm pretty sure, you know, it had to be a bunch of little mingling, a lot going on for sure. But what made them want to trust them so much to put their guard down and, you know, perceive the massacre that happened after they sat down and had they time together. Maybe while they were discussing those Europeans didn't want to hear none of that, but it really is going back to everybody colonize each other. We all, you know, it's the world. You know, if you want to move away from your land, like you want to migrate somewhere else just for weather purposes, for animals, like for food, for, you know, you want to migrate. And then when you migrate, who you gonna run into? You gonna run into other people that don't know you. They don't know nothing about you. That causes problems possibly. So, you know, you know, it's just, I don't see the devil. That's damn, that's so crazy. And then, you know, I grew up in the church. We grew up in the church, so I don't know, man. It's a very good spin. I like how these people happen to be white though, and they're saying that they're the devil. It could have been any color, but it just hits better because, you know, that they're white, because, you know, the narrative on white people are that they're the devil anyway. So this game just flew under the radar talking like that. All right, we're in the last one, and after this I'm gonna end it because this whole 46 minutes we was talking to him the whole time. This is gonna be a whole separate video by itself. Other questions? Previous questions? Yeah, that's it. Let's
continue.
Pass.
Louis, it's time you opened your eyes. Come.
Yep, I'm about to
Listen,
end this one, but after
you.
he's done talking, let's start a new one. After you, we're gonna end it right here, cause he's telling us to what? After you, why a conference instead of imposing your will upon us? See, here we go. That ain't devilish. That could be devilish work, but that's just what, you know, we as humans do, man. Unfortunately to say. We're gonna end this one. Stay tuned, stay locked in. We about to keep going. We about to see where this goes, cause we trying to get outside to our mother. We ain't about to let him, you know, muscle us. We got one hand. He already know what type of time we on. Shout out to the makers of this game. This is probably one of my best videos explaining stuff, because it all sums it up for the most part. And yeah, let's end it here.